Welcome students. Let us see what is the bearing in this video. We will start from the beginning of the bearing and we will go up to the examination type questions. So first of all, let us see what is the bearing and how it's look like. So if you see, this is a directional compass. You can see this is a directional compass. It is a directional compass. What other compass we have? The other compass we have is your magnetic needle. Perhaps you have heard this term, that is the magnetic needle. There's a difference between directional compass and magnetic needle. Directional compass, whenever you have to find the direction of any point, you have to only see the north direction. The north direction should be in front of you, should be perpendicular to you and in front of you, just in front of you, north direction it should be, right? But in magnetic needle, the north direction is always towards the north, always towards the north. It is decided by Earth's magnetic field, but it is not decided by Earth's magnetic field. North direction means simply in this plane, the upward direction is north direction, below is south, this is east, and this is your west. Okay, so these are the difference between directional compass and magnetic needle or magnetic compass also. As you can see also, we have this north, see, this is east, this is south, and this is west. And in this directional compass, you have some angle measured also. See, calibered, see some measurement 10, 20, 30, 40, this. One thing is common, one thing is observable in this directional compass is, see, all the angles are measured in clockwise direction. As you can see, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It is going in a single direction. It's increasing in a clockwise manner. And completely again, it will the 360-degree. If you see your protector, if you see your protector, you will observe the difference what I am trying to say. If you see your protector, please see you have two type of scaling, right? One is the inner scale, one is the outer scale. Both are in the opposite direction. See, as you can see here, it's 10. Just a minute. Yes, please see here you have two type of scale. One is the inner scale, other is the outer scale. Inner scale and outer scale are in the reverse direction. As you can see here, it's 10, 20, 30, but outer scale is increasing in reverse direction. It's 10, 20, 30. So I think you are getting my point, that what's the difference between directional compass, magnetic compass, and protector. Protector, in the protector we can measure, right? We can measure measurement of angle in either of direction, because we have two scaling. One is the inner scale and other is the outer scale. But in the directional compass, we have only one type of scale, and that's the clockwise scale. First, see this. It's only increasing in a single direction, and that is the clockwise direction. So we can conclude here that what is the directional compass and what we have to do. So if I write what is the directional compass, so a directional compass, a directional compass is used to find bearing. So what's the meaning of bearing? Bearing means simply, you can say, direction. Bearing means simply direction. Now, what are the standard direction we have? What are the standard direction we have? So standard direction we have, as you can see, it's north direction, south direction, is east, and these are the west. These are the some standard direction, and these are called, cardinal points. These are called cardinal points. What are the other standard direction we can have? That is the northeast. This is the northeast direction. This you can say southeast, and this you can say southwest, and this you can say northwest direction. Is it okay? Yes. So, and these are the standard. Why? Because we know it's exactly in the middle of north and east, exactly between the north and east. So this is the standard direction. Okay, when you say northeast direction, anyone can find it easily. So these are called half cardinal points. These are called half cardinal points. So what are the half cardinal points? If I write, so these are northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. These are the half cardinal points. Okay, if okay, so let us see how we have to represent in bearing mode, how to represent a direction from a directional compass. Okay, let us see. So let us suppose, first of all, I have to represent my bearing of this east direction. I have to represent the direction of east, or bearing of east. See, observe this. Whenever you have to find, please observe, whenever you have to represent direction of anybody, whenever you have to represent direction, or you can say location or direction of anybody, what you need, first thing, if you want to represent the direction of anybody or any thing, you need first of all a reference point. You need a reference. You need a reference point. Without reference point, you cannot represent direction of anybody. And second, the distance, how much distance along that direction, or you can say direction. First of all, you need a reference point. That's the so much important point. Reference point. Without reference point, you cannot represent distance, you cannot represent direction. Okay, so in the bearing concept, what is the direction, what is the reference direction, what is the reference point, what should be my reference direction? My reference direction is north direction. My reference direction is my north direction. Okay, and my rotation should be clockwise. My rotation should be clockwise rotation. So let us see, whenever I have to find, let us suppose there's a point here, let us suppose there's a point here, let us suppose there's a point P, and I have to find, if I ask you find bearing of point P, if I ask find the bearing of point P, it's meaningless question. It's a meaningless question because I am asking you find bearing of point P, but I'm not sorry, but I have not mentioned from where. But I have not mentioned from where. So it's a meaningless question. So I have to tell you find the bearing of P from which point. Let us suppose now I am telling you find the bearing of point P from point O, and let us suppose this is the point O. As soon as I tell, no, I give you the initial point. Let's see. As soon as I give you the initial point that you have to find the bearing of P from O, what you have to do? You have to first mark your reference line or reference direction. What's my reference direction? My reference direction is the north direction. So let's see, in the animated mode, I have represented this a north direction. What I'm going to do, I have to represent my reference line first. What's the reference line? The reference line in the north direction from O. That's the initial point. So please see, this is my reference direction. Now, this reference direction can be moved in either ways. Okay, so you have to move in a clockwise manner. Please rotate this direction in clockwise manner. I'm rotating this in a clockwise manner until you reach your required direction. See, yes. So you have to rotate only this. So this was your initial direction. This was your initial direction. And if I rotate this again, see the animation. If I'm rotating this, I will rotate till I got my the reference direction. So this is the final position. So how much you have rotated, how much you have rotated in clockwise manner, that's the bearing. So students, how much we have rotated? We have rotated 90 degree. But to represent a bearing, we use 3 digits. So we will write 090 degrees. I think this first example will be clear. Okay, let us see some more examples. Let us see some standard examples. See, now suppose we have to find bearing of, suppose we have to find bearing of point P. It's meaningless question. We have to find bearing of P from O. You have to represent, you have to give initial point. As soon as you got your initial point, that is the from O, find the point O. This is the point O. This is the point P, and you have to go from O to P. So please mark your reference, your required direction. This is the required direction. You have to go from O to P. Now, what you will do? Since initial point is O, since O is my initial point, you have a reference direction at O. You should have a reference direction at O. How we can do this? Yes. Please think. How we can do this? We should have a reference direction at O in the north direction. This is my reference line. Now I have to rotate this line in clockwise manner until I got my reference direction. So this is the rotation I required. Please see again, it's a reference direction at point O in the north direction, and now I have to rotate, rotate this line until I got my required direction. So how much I have rotated? How much I have rotated in clockwise manner, you have to think, students. So as in the diagram, it's shown that it's 65. So I will represent 065 degree. That's all. So this is the bearing of point P from O, and we will represent this 065 degrees. Now, if I want to find bearing of Q, if I write only this, it's meaningless. I have to write from O. Okay, you should have some initial point. So where is the O? So O is here. Where is Q? It's here. So my required direction is from O to Q. Now what we should have? We should have a reference direction at O, because O is my initial point. So let us draw a reference direction at O. See, this is the O. Now I have to rotate this reference direction, this reference line, in a clockwise manner until I got my required direction, that is O to Q. So what's the clockwise direction? I am rotating it in a clockwise manner. Please observe in this animated explanation how you have to measure the bearing of point Q from O. So see, this much of angle you need. Okay, so please see again how much rotation I need. So you need this much of angle. See, so this is the final, and my initial was this. My initial my initial direction was this. So how much I have rotated? I have rotated this much of angle. So either you measure this from protector, okay, or we have some small calculation or some tricky point that if you find this angle, if you able to find this angle, let us suppose this is the 60 degree. I will show how to measure. This is 60 degree, and you know at a single point the complete angle is 360 degree. Okay, so if this is 60 degree, so you can measure this angle as 360 minus of 60, that is the 300 degree. So you will write it at 300 degrees. Okay, so I hope you understood this example as well. So let us see the next example. And to measure this angle from protector, if there is any doubt how to use the protector, please let me know in the comment section so that I can explain you how to use protector, how to use scale to find the bearing. Okay, let us see the next example. Now, let us suppose in this situation, let us suppose we have to find, okay, let me explain on the whiteboard. See, let us suppose it's a very good question. Let us suppose we have point A. I'm saying this is the point A and this is the point B. I have to find bearing of point B. It's meaningless question. I have to write bearing of B from where? I should have mentioned it. So let us suppose I written bearing of B sorry, from A. It's the question, find the bearing of B from A. What we will do, since we got our initial point, that is the point A, you should have a reference direction. What is the reference direction at A? You should have reference direction at, you should have reference direction at A. Let us suppose this is the point A, and let us suppose this is the point B. We have to find bearing of B. It's a meaningless question. I have to represent bearing of B from where? From A. As soon as I have told that we have to find bearing of B from A, you should have reference direction. You should have reference direction at A. What is my reference direction at A? It should be towards the north direction. How you will find the north direction? So to find the north direction, take a protector. Okay, see, point it middle point at point A, and as you can see, you have to find the north direction, that is this 90-degree point. This is the north direction. Okay, please mark this. After this, take a ruler, and make this line of north direction. See, I have I'm going to mark this. So this is my reference direction at point A. I have marked my reference direction at point A. This is my north direction. What's the another thing I need? My required direction. What is my required direction? I have to go from A to B. So again, you have to mark your required direction. How you will do this? Please mark a line from A to B. This is the required direction. You have to mark from A to B. So this is the required direction from A to B. This is my required direction. I can put a direction also. I am going from A to B. So now I have to rotate my reference line to get my required direction. In actual sense, you don't have to rotate it. You have to only measure this. Okay. So how you will measure this? Okay. So first of all, see how you can measure this. So first of all, see, See, first of all, I have marked point A. The middle point of this protector is placed at point A, and my 0 degree line, okay, my 0 degree line is coinciding with my reference line. Please observe this. Okay. Yes, my 0 degree line is coinciding with my reference line, and the A is at the middle of the protector. So you have two scaling. See, one is 170 degree, 160 degree outer line, outer measurement, outer marking, and you have one inner marking also. 10, 20, 30. Which marking, which measurement should be used? See, you have to start from this side. So you will start from 0, 1, 10, 20. We have to go in this direction. So you should take this measurement. So please see how much angle we have. I think let's zoom it. Yes. How much angle we have? See, it's it's approximately 68. So it's 68. It's 68. So you will write this is 68. So bearing of B from A is equal to 068 degrees. Let us find. Now I want to find bearing of A from B. How we can find this? Bearing of A from B. So what we will do? Let's see. See, now I have to find bearing of A from B. So as soon as you got your initial point, that is from point B. So what we should do? We should have a reference direction. We should have reference direction at point B. What is the reference direction at point B? It's north direction at point B. And how we will got the north direction if nothing is given? It's so simple. Take a protector and make a 90 degree at point B. So first of all, I have marked this middle point at point B. Yes. See, I mark this point B. Now I have to see the 90 degree. So 90 degree is making here. Remove this, take a ruler, and you can draw a 90 degree line here also. That is what it is passing like this. There is some accuracy problem, but you can, when you will do in your paper, you will get exact. No problem. So this is the north direction at point B. Now, what's my required direction? What's my required direction now? My required direction now is I have to go to A from B. So my required direction is now this. Let us see first in animated mode how the bearing should we find it. You have your reference direction at point B. We have reference direction at point B, that is this north line. Now I have to rotate in the clockwise manner. So I have to rotate like this such that I got my required direction. Let's see once again in an animated mode. See, this is my reference direction. This vector should be, this direction should be rotated how much degree in clockwise sense so that I got my required direction. That's the bearing of point A from B. Okay, so this is my reference direction. So how we can measure this? So again, we have two options. We have two options. If you can measure, just a minute. If you can measure this angle, that is not my answer. If this is theta, my answer should be 360 minus theta. Or, okay, one more tricky point we have is, see, if you draw this line below this, your reference direction. See, one thing is clear that this is 180 degree. It's a linear pair, 180 degree. So you have to now find only this angle. If we succeed to find this angle, let us suppose this is alpha. Let us suppose this is not as a theta. Let's suppose this is any angle. Let's suppose this is beta. So the complete angle will be 180 plus beta. That's the total bearing of point B. So let us try to find this angle B. Or first of all, I'm going to find directly this direct measurement I am going to find. Okay, so let us recall the protector. See, you are unable to do this because we have only 180 degree measurement. See, we have only 180 degree measurement. You are not able to find that angle completely. Please see, you are not able to find complete angle in a single turn. So you have to apply your mind as well. So what we can do, see, you can measure in this way also. First of all, I'm going to see my point B as my middle point is at point B. I'm going to find this angle. The second approach, yes, this angle can be find it, right? Then we will do 360 minus theta. How much this angle is? Let's try to read this. And which scale will be used to read? It will be read as an outer scale because we are starting from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. So we will read from the outer scale. So let us read the outer scale, what it is. I think it's 110, 11, 12, 113. You can take it as 113. We may take as 113 degrees. So it is 113 degrees. 113 degrees. So what my bearing should be? 360 minus 113. 360 minus 113. What it will be? 360 minus 113. You will get 247. So its bearing is 247 degrees. So it's the second approach. First approach we failed. Why? We are not able to find greater than 180 degree from the protector. So first approach we have not able to find. In the second approach, we have find it first we find the clockwise angle and then subtract from the 360 degree. And in the third approach, we have is see, we have this 180 degree. I know, you know, we know that it's a 180 degree for sure. Now I have to measure only this angle beta. Now I have to measure only this angle beta. How we can measure this? We have protector. Yes, please mark point B at O at point B. Please put a middle point at point B. So I have marked this point B. And now, which scale will be used? I think inner scale will be used. Now we have to find from this direction. So we have to find the angle. Please read this inner angle. It should be, see, 60, 65, 66, 67. Approximately it's 67. It's 67. So we got the value of beta, it's 67 degrees. So what's my complete bearing will be? 180 plus 67, it's 247. And from the first, we are getting also 247. As you can see, both are exactly same. It's 247, it's 247 once again. So students, I hope you are getting well in this explanation. We have so many points to discuss in the bearing. Let us see one exam like question quickly. See, I have a PDF, okay, belonging to your GCSE style, and it's based on bearing. It's past year paper. So let us see one question. Write down, measure and write down the bearing of B from A. We have to find bearing of B from A. As soon as you got the initial point, that is the A, you should have the reference direction. What is my reference direction? So this is my reference direction, that is the north direction at point A. Now what's my required direction? I have to go from A to B. So this is my required direction. So what should be the bearing? I have to rotate in a clockwise manner. Let's see once again in animated mode. See, this is my reference direction. I have to rotate this in a clockwise manner and till here. So how much angle I have rotated? That's the bearing. So I have rotated this much of angle, but you are not able to find this much of angle from the protector. You have to find from your mind. You have to apply your mind also. So what you can do, either you make this theta. So bearing should be equal to 360 minus theta, because at a single point, the complete angle is 360 degree. Or what we can do, we can have that, see, this complete angle will be 180 degree. So, or you can see also, this is 180 degree, this is 90 degree. So till here you got 180 plus 90. Now you need only this angle. Yes, this angle can be measured from your projector. It's so simple. So whatever this angle, let us suppose beta, you have to write this beta and add all these angles. Okay, whatever you will get is your answer. Okay, so that's the first part. Let us see the next part of the question. On the diagram, draw a line of bearing 103 from A. Now I have to draw bearing of 103 from A. So as soon as I got from A information, you should have a reference direction at point A. What is my reference direction? My reference direction is the north direction at point A. Now I have to rotate only 103 degree. Let us suppose, see, this is the 90 degree rotation. This is the 90 degree rotation. I have to rotate something more. Let us suppose this. It may be 103 degrees. So it's 103 degree in clockwise manner. So this is the bearing of 103 from A. You have to do it from the protector. I have explained you how to use a protector. If still there is any problem in using protector, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so students, in this manner you can complete this complete PDF. Okay, so I hope you understood this bearing concept. I will I will explain some more questions based on this concept very soon. So please like this channel and share this video. Thanks for watching.